What happens if arms deal discussions are traced to a phone registered to a former deputy president? And then the explanation becomes it wasn't him, it was his nephew. At Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, this isn't just about WhatsApp messages, it's about credibility, digital forensics, and political exposure.
I was doing marketing for him.
But the question that you were being asked was whether you had a market for these.
I don't have a market.
You don't have a market. That isn't what you answered. Your answer was, I need to see and test.
That's correct.
When you were being asked whether you had a market, why didn't you just say, no, I don't have a market, but I may be interested in buying one of these weapons myself?
When I was asked by who, commissioners?
By the person who saved in your phone as Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President. If you look at 113639. Hey, brother, do you have a market for a compact close quarter combat 12-gauge shotgun manufactured in South Africa?
So at that time, I felt that to answer him the way I did, commissioners.
And why would you be interested in a close quarter combat 12-gauge shotgun? Is this a sports weapon of the sort that you are familiar with?
That's correct, Commissioner. Not that I was per se interested. He's the one who sent it to me. Then I comment that can I see and test? Because of obviously when you see the gun, it looks very, very, very beautiful. So I thought to myself, if maybe I could have one like that. That was me telling myself. I did not even tell that to him. So that's my answer.
So you weren't thinking of selling on in any large quantities to anybody else?
Can you repeat that question?
So if I understand your most recent answer, it suggests that you weren't interested in selling these units on to a different buyer. Or were you?
I was never interested on selling these guns to any buyer, as I'm not qualified to sell quantity or guns to anyone. I was entertaining. Can I finish, Commissioner? I was entertaining this Mabuza guy because he sent that to me.
This clip is a clip of an allegation involving a communication tied to the late Deputy President, David Mabuza. That is his phone. However, witness F alleged that even though the phone belongs to David, the late David Mabuza, that is not David Mabuza, that is his nephew. Right, at the time of this conversation, David Mabuza was still alive, so he hadn't passed then. So the arms deal discussions were allegedly presented to him. The phone was identified as belonging to the late David Mabuza. The explanation given, it was his nephew communicating. The commission then reportedly expressed that skepticism. So we are analyzing what it would mean if the phone identification were true. If what we're hearing right now was true, so working on that premises, if this phone identification were true, that it belonged to the late David Mabuza, the former deputy president. The Cyril Ramaphosa's late deputy president in the last administration. So this contact of the phone is saved as David Mabuza. It's a WhatsApp display name, and also he was asked that the commissioner would be able to actually do some forensic confirmation that the phone actually indeed belongs to David Mabuza. So the device was forensically confirmed as it's his phone. He then said the phone was used by his nephew. When the device was identified as his phone, then that stake dramatically changed. All right. So really, the issue here that we need to be sure, the discussion does not equal conviction, okay? But it can equal referral. Because if it's really true, there's a couple of implications of this just clip of WhatsApp. So it looks like there was unlawful arms brokering, okay? Conflict of interest. We're talking about the former deputy of the president, meaning we're going to the executive now. The abuse of influence, and also the National Convention Arms Control Act exposure. All right. So let's listen to the next clip, and you will hear that the Commissioner Baloyi is going to start asking questions relating to this about, wait a minute, this person is a police officer. This police officer, Witness F, worked as an information handler. In every cartel in the mafia state, you get people like that, people who are working as information handlers, that because the people executive, meaning the deputy president, Cyril Ramaphosa, they don't want to be exposed to these cartels. So you have someone like him, communicating information from the deputy national police commissioner, the suspended deputy national police commissioner, Shadrach Sibia, and also taking that message from him to these cartels, even collecting money. We saw a video in the previous testimony where he went to another member of the Big Five cartel, Katie Molefe, and got out of there with a bag, which was assumed that it looks like a bag of money. And there was, now here we're seeing him really close to the executive, the deputy president now. And yeah, there was also another discussion of him communicating with Matala, and also communicating with Mabuza. Mabuza, we talk about it. We also Figile also is being implicated, the current ANC whip, in this whole WhatsApp exchange.
Before you do that, Mr. Chaskalson, if I may. Witness F, did I hear you correctly earlier before we broke for lunch to have said about these firearms, to have said they wanted to import the firearms to South Africa? Did I hear that part of your evidence correctly?
That's correct.
Okay. In that, who is they that you are referring to? You are contacted by Mr. Siphiwe Mabuza, and then you say your explanation is they wanted to import. Who are they?
I was referring to Siphiwe Mabuza when I say they, because I know that he's a businessman obviously he's not alone. So that's why I was saying they.
So he's a businessman in the business of selling guns.
No, Commissioner.
Why do you say you know he's a businessman and obviously you knew he wasn't alone? Who is he in business with? That you would have.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Witness F. You say they, and you've explained that they is Mr. Mabuza and business because you know he's a business person. You know him to be in business with whom that you would have thought they were seeking to import these guns?
I don't know, Commissioner.
What don't you? Sorry, what don't you know?
I don't know of whom is he with in the said business, but I know that he's in business of supplying not guns, to my knowledge, but other things.
Okay. When you're a police officer, is Mr. Mabuza in the business? And I think I've asked you this. Maybe answer so that I can follow up with my next question. Do you know him to be in the business of selling guns?
No, I don't know him like that.
So you are approached by a civilian who wants to sell up to 750 units of guns, and he speaks to you. Somehow he's got the confidence to speak to a police officer about selling guns when he's not in the registered business of selling guns, and you just want to test. You didn't do anything about it. You didn't say, but this is breaking the law. Why is that you don't see this as someone who's breaking the law and then you need to act about it?
According to me and my understanding, in terms of the illegal firearms, there is no way that if those guns were illegal, he could sell each gun by 15,500 because of even in the shop is 15,000 or 13,000. It differs on the brand of a particular firearm. It's the reason I came to conclusion that he might have got them somewhere or bought them somewhere in bulk. He wants to sell them or to venture into business of some sort. But I did not verify with him because I did not see a point to verify. I assumed at that particular time that he was trying to venture into another business.
The business of selling 750 guns, and you, a police officer, didn't see a problem with that. All you wanted to do was let me test them.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And that yes, carry on. Yes, carry on.
Okay. Not that I did not care or try to inquire further. As someone who's in business at his caliber and level, I just assume that he's venturing into that. I did not ignore that because of I'm a police official, or I did not ignore that at all. I just assumed that because he's a businessman, he's venturing into something.
Did you report this to the police afterwards? So that there could be a proper investigation whether he's breaking the law or not?
I did not, Commissioner.
Okay. Did you maybe not report it, or did you maybe respond the way you do, that I need to see and test, because you knew exactly what was happening, that this is just a gun selling, unlawful gun selling venture, and you were comfortable with being part of it. All you needed to do was test them.
I disagree with your vision, Commissioner. I did not know that it was illegal gun selling. The person is live. He can be called and come and testify on whether these guns were illegal or legal.
Okay.
But best of my ability, it looked legit.
What about it look legit?
The price is there.
Yes. Witness F, what is it about this WhatsApp messages? You've got a message that says, hey brother, do you have a market for a compact CQC, close quarter combat, 12-gauge shotgun manufactured in South Africa, pick attached. I have access to 750 units in knockdown component form, plus spares, ready for shipping with matching flashbang ammo. See video at family price. That's the first message you have. Now, yes. You say to us, you thought maybe he wants to venture into something different. So you know he's not in the gun selling business. What did you consider to be lawful about this? As a police officer, I don't ask you as a civilian. I ask you as a police officer who does have a legal duty to act when a crime is committed, an offense is committed in their presence. That's the premise of my question. You have that responsibility. Someone is asking you to find buyers for 750 firearms. I think guns, I don't know the difference between firearms and guns, whether it has anything to do with caliber. But someone is asking you, you know them not to be in the business of gun selling, because I've asked you that question, and your family answer that no, he's not in the business of gun selling, and you thought maybe he's venturing out. Now, you have no reason to think and believe that he's got a license to sell this, because you're not telling us that. You have no reason for that. As a police officer, how is it responsible and lawful that you don't act against what is prima facie an offense being committed by asking you to find buyers for guns?
To me, maybe I've applied my mind as a police officer, that knowing that the street value of the particular similar firearm, they go around 2.5, 3,000. So if this one is 15,000, to me it came as a legit deal. And this guy, knowing very well that I'm a law enforcer, he would not have sent me stolen firearms or firearms are to be used to commit some sort of crime, knowing that I'm a police.
All right. Thank you, Witness F. Thank you. You've answered me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how they recruited this police officer. This is a rogue police officer. This one, I really don't know. Yeah. So, why would really a deputy president allow a nephew to use his phone for arms discussion? Any arms discussions? Why was the contact saved under the principal's name? So here we have a sitting deputy president at the time, senior ANC leadership. Any arms-related association, even if it was peripheral, it triggers the national security concerns, executive ethics questions, the institutional vulnerability. This elevates it from gossip to governance. This whole clip. Yeah, this is it's worse. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip about this story. Concerning The witness F's testimony is coming up tomorrow. Hopefully he will show up tomorrow, and hopefully his lawyer will shut up and not say anything. Because I'm sick and tired of his lawyers. Oh my God, these lawyers, oh, they're like the same. They're like the same, the people they represent. Seriously. This Watu who represent this person, last time he came in, he was complaining how he did not eat. It was a lot of excuse that didn't make sense for a lawyer to make such excuse. Seriously. Yeah.
Nothing in
Worse.
terms of those.
Thank you, Mr. Watu.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Can I just, good morning, just clarify two things. I'm looking at the President's statement here, and I want you to tell me where the President says this witness must be charged. Because you're attributing to the President and to this Commission things that are not said anywhere, and you're using them as a basis for a postponement application and a High Court application. I will read for you what the President said in his statement. The Commission has said there's prima facie evidence of wrongdoing, and referrals are made in respect of these people. But you making an application on the basis that there's a criminal case and somebody has been charged. But there's no basis for that. Because wrongdoing could be HR related, could have nothing to do with criminal proceedings. So don't attribute to the President statements he did not make. That's the first point. The second point is, if your entire argument is taken to its logical conclusion, especially in relation to the privilege or the right against self-incrimination, it means your client will never testify in this commission, because even in 6 months' time, there will still be a concern about self-incrimination, which means he should never come here and he should never take part in this commission, and we should just forget about it, because that's the logical conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Watu.
Perhaps if I may just add to the first point that Commissioner Khumalo says, reading from the President's statement, the media statement, it actually also reads that a task team will be constituted. The task team will institute investigations against people identified by the Commission for Investigation. So no way does it say your client is going to be charged and what he will be charged with. It just says a team is constituted to conduct investigations. So self-incrimination is not an issue that you can rely on at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Can we go to page 696 of the same bundle? And there, at 2:06 on 16 January 2024, it's a bit earlier, Comrade David Mabuza sends you a message saying, "Buti, please don't forgive about me." And I think it's forget about me. Am I correct that it was forget about me?
I'm still checking. Oh.
696.
Yes, I see that, Commissioners.
And is that, was it really meant to read, "Please don't forget about me"?
Can you repeat that question, Commissioner?
It says, "Buti, please don't forgive about me." Reading it, I think that what he probably meant to say was, "Please don't forget about me." Or did he mean, did you read that message as meaning, "Please don't forgive about me"?
I can't comment on that message because even myself, I don't understand what he meant by "please don't don't forgive me, or please don't forget me. I did not know what he wanted to say.
Okay. Well, let's let's go to the next text, which is sent the following day at 5:36 p.m. And it sends a screenshot, and the screenshot is in the annexure bundle at page 299.
Yes, I see.
And the screenshot seems to be a screenshot of a message sent by Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President, to Jerry Kazi. And because it's sent...
Sorry, Advocate, we lost you. So give us the page number
at
again.
229 of the annexure bundle. Of the annexure bundle, not the exhibit bundle.
Is that page 229?
I confirm.
Sorry.
It's being flighted, Commissioner, so what you're looking for is a document like that. And so this is a screenshot that was sent to you by the person described as Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President. And it's a screenshot of his conversation with someone who's saved on his phone as Jerry Kazi. Do you know who Jerry Kazi is?
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Yes.
It says, firstly, the time on the screenshot is 17:36. Which is the same time it was sent to you. That will see is reflected on page 696. It says, "Okay, Kazi, this is Jerry Kazi speaking. I've got an issue." There's then a voice note and a voice call. He then shows Jerry Kazi then shows a Teams meeting calendar entry and says, "I have an urgent special exco now at 6. And the person described as Comrade David Mabuza says, "You will indicate." Then Jerry Kazi says, "Let's meet 007 tonight after my meeting. It's urgent." And the person described as Comrade David Mabuza gives a clenched fist emoji. Now, who's 007?
I don't know him, Commissioner.
I think you do know Witness F. I think you know that it's you.
Commissioners, my name is that one of that one. Not 007. Maybe themselves together, when they are together, they are referring me as 007. But that is not my name.
I know it's not your name, but why would they refer to you as 007, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I would not know. You know, when two people are friends there, they give people's name. I cannot. get into that and say it's because of this. I might have maybe PKS, maybe they call me PKS, then I would not entertain that eventually that is my name. But I can confirm 00 or 00 is not my name.
What did Mr. Matlala call you on his chats? Do you remember?
You call me what, Commissioners?
What did Mr. Matlala call you on his chats? Do you remember? I mean, if you don't, you just say no.
I don't remember.
What you'll see when, if you look at the chats that were attached to your notices, is that he referred to you as Colonel and then your name, brackets, 00. Does that ring a bell?
I don't know how to answer that.
Do you know what 00 signifies in the James Bond movies?
James Bond, I don't know him. No, I can't comment on that.
You don't know who 007 is?
No, I don't know, Commissioner.
Well, James Bond was 007. But the 00 agents were the agents who had a license to kill.
No, okay, now I know, Commissioner.
All right, let's see what proceeds from this 007 chat. If we go back to page 229 of the annexure bundle, you'll see that the last text from Jerry Cuzzy was, "It's urgent." Can you recall what was so urgent that people wanted to see you that night?
Firstly, I would not say they wanted to see me, because at that time, my name is not 007. It's that and that. That is my name. So I can now say, when they were referring to 007, they were referring to me. So therefore, I cannot know what was that agent in that particular time.
Okay, well, let's look at the second screenshot. You'll see that it was sent to you at 5:57. That appears at page 696 of the main chats. And it appears in the annexure bundle at page 230. And it's essentially the same image, except now there are 3 more messages. After the clenched fist, the person described as Comrade David Mabuza says, "Sorted and confirmed." And Jerry Cuzzy says, "Thanks, Cuzzy, 7-ish, right."
I see that, Commissioner.
Let's go back to your text, it's page 696. And after sending you that second screenshot, the sender described as Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President, says, "The pivot, please, next to Palazzo." And if you go over the page, and then there's a thumbs up. Why was he giving you these screenshots and these address details for the meeting? What was he expecting of you?
I would not know, Commissioners.
Was he not expecting you to come to the meeting?
I don't know, Commissioners.
Did you go to the meeting?
I can't remember, Commissioners.
Well, maybe let me jog your memory. If you go to 533 of the evidence bundle, you'll see that at 1739, you forwarded that screenshot to someone who is described in your chats as Bra Steve Mswazi, and who we understand to be Mr. Steven Motsumi. So let me ask you two questions. First, is Bra Steve Mswazi Steven Motsumi? Can you answer that?
Can you repeat that question, Commissioner?
Is the person saved in your phone as Bra Steve brackets Mswazi, Mr. Steven Motsumi?
That's correct.
And then why did you forward that screenshot from the person described as Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President, to Mr. Motsumi on the 17th of January 2024 at 1739?
I can't remember. To be honest with you, Commissioners, I can't remember why did I exactly send it.
Well, can I ask you some questions? What is the relationship between the person who is described in your phone as Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President, and Mr. Motsumi?
They don't have a relationship.
Then why would you be forwarding an invitation to a meeting sent by Comrade David Mabuza, Deputy President, to Mr. Motsumi? Why would you forward the screenshot to him?
I really don't know. That is the reason, if you see here, Commissioners, Steven Motsumi or Bra Motsumi never responded.
I see he didn't respond, but my question is really, why did you send it to him?
I don't know. I really can't remember. Maybe, I don't know.
And let me move to another issue that's related, possibly.
Can I perhaps suggest to you, because you don't remember, so we are going to have to make what we do of this evidence that is contained in these chats. Can I propose to you for your comment that you probably sent it to him because you knew he had an interest in this meeting that was being arranged? Otherwise it doesn't make sense that you would forward an invitation to a meeting. Any comment?
I don't think it will be a good thing to say he had an interest.
Yes.
Because even myself, I can't even remember why exactly did I send this to him.
Yes.
So I can't say now to him he had an interest.
Well, the reason I'm saying probably is because it's otherwise a random discussion about a meeting and a meeting place to meet 007 at 7-ish, right? So it's a message like that. You then forward it to a specific person, Mr. Motsumi in this case. What I'm putting to you is you didn't do so randomly. There has to be a reason. You may not remember it, but there was a reason when you forwarded this message to him. You didn't send it to just anybody. You didn't send it to General Sibia, at least not in front what we have in front of us here. You picked a specific person. It has to be that it's because you knew he would have an interest or he has an interest in that meeting. And I'm saying that's what it looks like, if I'm to offer an explanation because you don't remember. Do you have any comment?
I still maintain that I don't remember commissioners with due respect. I so wish that I could scratch my head till I remember, but I can't remember.
Okay, thank you. Witness F.
So let me recap for you. This Steve Motsumi is the person that the KZN head, Lesecha Sinona, did not want to say the name Steve Motsumi. This person that Witness F forwarded the message from the person who is the former late David Mabuza's phone to Steve Motsumi about meeting arrangements. So he understood the significance of this meeting. He knew who else would care about it. He saw the value in sharing this meeting to Steve Motsumi. That's Steve Motsumi who I thought the why even the head of Hawks is afraid of calling his name. That would mean maybe Steve Motsumi is ascended to the throne because he's also being referred as Mswazi. All right, to the throne of the ladder of the Big Five, of the Big Five cartels. So that's my assessment of this whole thing of them. So we have a deputy president up in executive communicating with this rogue police officer who is an information handler or also pays staff, also arrest people and communicating with people who are actually part of these Big Five cartels, including the person that I think might be the top ladder of the Big Five, Steve Motsumi. I mean, even the head of Hawks was afraid and scared to call his name because they now understand why the commission wanted rule on him saying that name, because here he is. His name is recorded as Mswazi, but we know it's Steve Motsumi. Now, this whole cartels is linked to the ANC. All right, there's no doubt that ANC is part of this cartel. I mean, ANC is losing votes. I mean, in Cape Town, I was looking at George. 3 people voted for ANC in George, only 3 people in the by-election. And I just want to know what's wrong with those people. We need to refer them to the psychiatrist, examine them. Maybe it was just the person who was, running against the other party. The PA won. But yeah, I'm just even asking why 3 people voted for ANC in George. What's wrong with them? Really, this is crap. I mean, you're gonna vote for something that's really linked to these cartels, huh? And you wonder why they've sat there and not do anything about crime. So we have now a Kennel who's got a license to kill, is being referred as 000, and forwards a political sensitive message to a specific person because they have an interest, which that implies to me that there is a pre-existing relational awareness, knowledge of who is connected to what, understanding of internal alignments. That suggests embeddedness in a network, in these cartel networks, not distance from it. So being embedded in these cartel networks doesn't mean guilty, but it does reduce the image of neutrality. Neutrality image is being reduced.
Witness, if I'm going to go to a different topic. In your application for a postponement that we heard last week, you said you could only sign the application on 28 January because you weren't available on 27 January as you had to collect a suspect in Venda for Musina case 210/09/2022. The charge was cash in transit. You recall that?
That's correct.
Can you describe to the Commission what this case is about and who the suspects are?
Commissioner, the case is about cash in transit, position of hijacked motor vehicle, position of unlicensed firearms, and ammunition.
And so, am I to understand that this relates to a cash-in-transit robbery with stolen vehicles and unlicensed firearms?
That's correct.
And do you know who the suspects are? Can you recall their names?
Tobile Natoshi, Eric Matele Musa, and Bongani Kumado.
And you've been working on this case for 3.5 years now. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I want to take you to page 184 of the annexure bundle.